ask a question. What's changed in our world when it comes to all of the allergies and all of the new diseases that we're seeing present themselves out there, especially with young people? The kids. It makes no sense. When I was a kid, none of my friends, none of us had peanut allergies. None of us were ever diagnosed with something like autism or ADHD, any kind of a condition that was thought that could be medicated. Boys were boys, girls were girls. The boys just ran crazy. The girls watched the boys run crazy. And nobody really thought much of it. Yeah, we needed to be reined in a bit, but we were let to be boys. And we marveled at the girls who actually had the steady hands and the steady heads to learn and to be an influence on us, but yet we were still boys. And something has changed though. Boys aren't let to run loose. They're asked to actually sit down and be still. Not unlike a girl can do. But boys seem to be on the edge now, more so than ever. And it is definitely something going on out there that is causing this mental wiring that's not quite right, or this anxiety that's going on with young people, especially the kids. And I think we've got to start looking at the scope of why do we have all these allergies? Why do we have all this behavioral stuff that's being diagnosed now? And I know one question that people keep bringing up is, it's got to be environmental. It's got to be something that's in our food source, something we're exposed to, especially young people. And I will go back and we'll talk about this in some other episodes, but the role of preservatives and the role of these refined sugars that are in everything today have got to be contributing to this, because we didn't have these when we were kids. Bread went bad very quickly. Milk went bad very quickly. We had deliveries, milk deliveries, that brought fresh milk to us because you didn't really keep it around very long. Things on store shelves didn't last near like they do today. Crackers, cereal. Obviously, we have a glut of cereals that are on the market today. I think there is something definitely about our food that is causing these problems for our young people. My wife and I experience it all the time when we talk to young people about their gut health problems. That's an interesting one we'll talk more about. But I think there's also something else that's in play here. And it's not just environmental, but it's what actually has been established as a standard. I don't even know when exactly it was, but all of these vaccinations that young people today are either have had or are getting. And I'm not talking just the COVID vaccinations, which I do believe has messed up a lot of people. But I think also the series of vaccinations that young people have gotten over the years is far greater than what I experienced, my wife experienced when we were young, comparatively even to our kids, and now our kids to the young people today. It's been accelerating. And I got to believe that has got to do with something with all of the disease states that we're experiencing today, and the issues that we have that are probably even leading to depression and even these suicidal thoughts. It just seems like there's got to be a tie. So I also am thinking that these vaccinations, and what I've witnessed when I was working in the hospitals, that these vaccinations, I think, did mess me up a bit as well. Probably not as much because I had a barrier built up probably from a long time ago, but when I was having to get vaccinations just to work in the hospitals, I even got a malaria vaccination one time in order to go down to Belize in order to go fishing, and really didn't need it. We found out after the fact, but I didn't really quite feel the same after that. So I have a feeling that these vaccinations that we've been inventing over the last decades have really started to impact our human health. And so much so with young people and especially the little kids as they grow into their teenage years. So I just want people to start thinking about, why do we have all of this going on today that we didn't have even, say, a decade ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago? I'm 59 years old. I probably started getting vaccinations then 55 years ago. A vaccination here or a vaccination there for the things like polio or whatnot. But we all got measles. We all got chicken pox. And that was our way of building our immunity. I remember even people talking about getting mumps. I don't think I ever had mumps. But I know with all of the vaccinations now that are being presented, I was watching TV last night, and the vaccine commercials, get a vaccine for this, get a vaccine for that, are just increasing dramatically as far as exposure to the public. And I'm really beginning to wonder what this whole tie-in to the pharmaceutical industry, to the role of research, physicians that are pushing it, the tie-ins to all this, and why are they pushing vaccines on all of us so much? Because vaccines do not cure people of anything. They're even now being proven that there's not a lot of great protection benefits after everything is said and done, and probably are causing a dramatic amount of health problems. So really think about this, especially if you're a grandparent or if you're a parent with little ones, and really start to really question, how much do we want our kids exposed to this kind of technology that could potentially be setting them up for tremendous health problems down the line. Peace be with you.